going to do a little bit of a quieter video today, and it's going to be chill and on the floor because honestly I can't be bothered to get up and stand and move around. I just really wanted to tell you guys the story of the dream that I had last night because it was epic. So somewhat recently, my friends decided to force me to watch the Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoon because I never saw it when I was a kid. And when I say forced, I'm being a little dramatic because I went willingly. I was just never into cartoons as a kid. I was more into Disney, but I was really interested in the story and the concept of this anime cartoon-ish thing. I know it's like American in anime style. So even though I don't really like the anime style, I was really into the concept and the story, like I said, so I was more willing to put the animating style out of my head. What does this have to do with the dream? Well, I'll tell you. The characters were in the dream and it revolved around them and me, so that's how it gets involved, or that's how it fits, I don't know, whatever. So in this dream, I was with Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph, and then me. And in a stunning turn of events that literally no one would be surprised at, I was a firebender. I have a very fiery personality, if you're wondering why no one would be surprised. But the thing was, I was the most useless firebender on the face of the planet. Like, I couldn't generate any fire at all. I could only bend it if it was already in existence, which if we were in some sort of society that still used torches, I guess that would be fine. But given these characters were transported into a modern alternate universe where we were in New York all at the same time, that didn't really work out so well for me. So the five of us are on the run from Azula, who, if you guys don't know, is the primary antagonist of, at the very least, Book 2, because I haven't really seen much of Book 3. And she's just this terrifyingly powerful firebender whose fire is blue, which I think is actually pretty awesome. And so, like, in Book 2 of the show, she is hunting down the Avatar, which is Aang. And so the five of us are literally running down the streets of modern-day New York just trying to get away from her. And we end up in this abandoned building that's actually, like, really old, and I think it was more coming from kind of the cartoon itself. But not really, because Katara and Sokka told me that this abandoned old building on the outskirts of New York had something to do with the Water Tribe, and that had nothing to do with the cartoon. Like, there were no abandoned Water Tribe buildings that I've seen so far. So that was just my brain making up stuff that, you know, doesn't make sense. So we started there, and there was something where we were trying to run up these abandoned steps, and it was one of those horrible nightmarish things where you just can't run fast enough. And then we ended up back on the streets of New York, just still running and trying to get away. And because I am the most useless firebender on the face of the planet, I am trying to generate fire to shoot backwards at Azula through friction by shaking my hands, which is doing absolutely nothing. So I'm going like, and I can get a couple sparks here and there, but nothing really happens. And at some point we end up in this huge skyscraper looking for Jimmy Kimmel, who I guess does a talk show, but I've never really seen. I've just seen commercials. And we had to go find his talk show studio in order to get advice for how to win and how to beat Azula and how to run away. And when we got there, he was actually pretty useless, but his intern knew a lot, so we got advice from her. And while we were talking to her, of course, we get ambushed, and so we had to run all the way down into the basement where all the cars are parked. And we stole this Lexus convertible that Sokka really wanted to drive, and he was just screaming his head off the whole time in excitement, which was really fun, I guess. But while we were driving down the streets of New York, I had to, like, grab Aang and make, like, this fire tornado in order to, like, fly away because we were still being chased. And literally, that was, like, the only time my fire worked properly. And so then we landed near this other building and we went inside and ran up a ton of stairs until we made it to just this big open foyer where once again we were attacked by Azula and then the other two girls, and I can only remember one of their names, which was Ty Lee. And so in the process of trying to fight them, I had to have Aang generate some fire and throw it towards me so that I could, you know, bend it around and actually fight for myself. Because, like I said, I was the most useless firebender on the planet. But actually this final fight was like super epic, and like we were all doing this awesome stuff that I can't even really remember anymore. And we ended up winning just long enough to escape, which was nice. And right as we were running back to that abandoned building, I woke up. So the dream was actually super awesome, and it involved a lot of action and cool fantasy stuff, and I had fire powers, which is exactly what I would have always expected my elemental powers to be. And it was just an epic dream, and I remembered a lot of it. I have no idea how I have such crazy dreams, but they are so much fun. Okay, I know I promised you guys some more videos maybe about my London trip, but those have been taking a while to get done because I need to go get more pictures put together from the people who I was traveling with. So any big videos regarding my trip will probably take a while. I hope to get more done in the next couple weeks, but I can't make any promises. I'm so sorry. But it's summer for me now, so I hope that I can get some more stuff done. So I hope you guys all have a great summer if you are in the northern hemisphere, and a pleasant winter if you're in the southern. And I'm going to do my best to see you guys very soon. See you later, dreamers.